Ready, set, go.
Hello, everybody. I'm Ding.
I was going to say, you ought to bring us in, miss. And you already did.
Oh, yes. I had to do an office line. Michael
Of course you
with
did.
Ping.
I think the band's back together, right?
We are.
Everybody except for old John Sparks, but he's been in on several of them lately too, so I can't complain.
He's working his 16 hours today.
That he is.
So.
I'm not screaming.
It's a long day.
Yeah, he was in on. Me and him recorded a couple. I think we might have recorded 3 lately.
You did 2
3 lately, and
Sunday?
We
came
did.
over?
We did 2 of them Sunday. Those haven't come out yet at the time we're recording this
Right.
one.
And
And
then
we did
Byron?
one with Byron. It was just, man, that was a real. That was hilarious. Man.
Oh, that black,
Byron was
that black man
real
don't
rib
mess
tickler.
That black man don't mess with no ghosts.
Oh yeah, that's a story. Canaan, we actually haven't had that conversation. At some point, I'll have to tell you about all that. How actually,
When was the last time we've actually had a sit down and talked?
Oh, it's
all
been a long
of us
time.
4.
and the people on the podcast are going to get tired about us rehashing the story again because
I
we just
know.
told it. But Canaan, that hill up there is so freaking haunted. Stuff was talking
Yeah.
to John.
Yeah,
Not kidding.
in his
That's how
face,
bad it's getting.
said 4 words, and John was freaked out.
Yeah. The West Hill is haunted as heck. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm serious. I'm not kidding. I saw stuff up there that day. We smelled like the weird rotting meat smell.
There's something
It was weird as heck.
weird going on because when we were there, it was hardly had much going on. I mean, 1 or 2 things maybe it was strange.
Yeah.
No, there's something weird going on now.
Well, I'll tell you this, and I'll edit it out for the people that's already heard the story. A cat come running around the corner at me in that house, Canaan.
And there's nothing in there.
No cats there. It came running around. A black cat ran around the corner at me, and then disappeared right as it started to get towards the door. And what scared me about
What'd
that
you
was
say?
I heard a guy. He said that a lot of times demons you'll think you're seeing cats out of the corner of your eyes.
Yes, I know.
I'd heard this years ago, and I turned and looked, and
I've
there's
heard
full on a
stories-
black cat running at me.
I've heard stories of people that were possessed that were curled up like cats on a couch, hissing whenever someone was reading the Bible to them. So something about cats and
Oh, it was back in.
Yeah. That's a no for me.
I told him, I said, you better be praying before you go in there and when you leave because you're not bringing nothing home to the baby.
Yeah.
Dude, I
Better take some sage with you.
I know, right?
I'm just glad that we don't have to go for it anymore. But the question is there was times I would maybe feel kind of
Uneasy.
yes, and maybe when you were a kid, how you'd be walking in the dark and you just felt like something was watching you, and you're like, don't run, okay,
Yes.
gotta run.
Like you're ultra aware of what's going on around you. There's something your senses are just offset.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I remember when I come up to your house, a lot of times I would always have a gun walking into your house, which, I always carry anyways, but, I don't know. I just kind of always felt a little uneasy, but I never had the experiences you guys have. So that's crazy, man. That is freaky.
I used to get this really paranoid feeling up there. You just
did.
constantly felt like somebody was watching you.
You did.
I can remember even when I was a kid downstairs, be working on music, recording, and you got your back to that really dark room, and just all of a sudden, just constantly looking to check, felt like someone's looking at you. You're ripping the headphones off, thought you heard something.
Do you know what I associate that whole feeling that I had when I thought I saw Gran? Whenever I looked up and saw that homeless woman or whatever she was, druggy woman, looking in the window at you and I asleep on the couch.
Oh, we had so many problems up there.
Oh, yeah.
Goodness, that creeped me out. I was done.
Yeah, I remember you guys talking about that, and that freaked me out. I was like, oh my goodness, they need to get out of that house.
I've only wanted to shoot someone twice in my life, and it has been at that house.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
3 times. I had that crazy white car follow me.
Well, I've only shot somebody twice in my life.
And they were both at that house.
I tried. I screwed it all up.
No, the one thing too, I've only been at gunpoint once in my life, and it was because of this man right here, Canaan. He's
Yes.
swinging his gun. And when we were at that cabin, whenever I snuck him, I was like, "Hey, Canaan," and you just came like flying backwards, scared out of your mind.
Kanan goes all the way. There's
I
no
know.
halfway point with him.
Girl, I thought I was dead. I was like, that's why I said it so gently. I was like, hey, Canaan. And he was like, ah! Just like, and then again, I was like, I would die. I'm dead.
That is why guns and liquor just don't go well together.
Hey, we all have our weak moments.
Oh my goodness,
We
it's
do.
so true.
We do. Canaan just happens to live in one large weak moment.
Weak moment.
Canon's lived there for
Canon's
the
life
past
is a weak
26,
moment.
27 years.
That is the truth. I'm a weak man. I need friends.
I'm weak.
So you know, talking about cats running at you and stuff. There was I can't remember who was telling me now, but they said they were on the mission field, and there was a cat in this. I don't know all the details, but it was maybe some witch doctor or whatever's house, and they walked in, and there was a cat that was literally walking up the walls. And they said it was just as easy as could be, you know. You know, and I guess the guy said I used the Lord's name, you know, and we started praying. I guess that cat hit the floor and took off running, man, and didn't want anybody. Yeah, I was like, oh, I'm good on all that.
I'm sorry. When things start walking up walls besides bugs, I'm done. I'm out.
I tell you, if you know, he made the cat jump down. Me, I would have been the one getting out.
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
Cat wouldn't have had to. I'd have been moving.
100%.
Tell me, what do you think the reason of it continuing to be? Because you know, you lived there for years. I mean, you saw some weird stuff, you know, but nothing to this extent. It seemed like. What do you think? Is it because it's been vacant for so long? I mean, it has been vacant for 2 years now?
Yeah, right about that. And I question too. There's been a lot of bad juju around that. A lot of people mad at each other.
Yeah,
you know, stuff like that. I wonder if it's not feeding off some of that.
Unrest. There's a lot of unrest that's been going on in that area.
That is true.
In that area, you're right, Miss. There's been a lot of crazy stuff in that area in general.
Yes, and I'm sorry, but like the Bible says too, like if you don't have like a good, like when you have Christians that were living there, like we were living there, we were doing the best we could, like trying to serve Jesus, you know, and we just we were doing the best that we could. So I think sometimes when the peace, you know, that comes with Jesus and serving Jesus, when that's gone. Yeah. What is left? You know what I mean? When that spirit is gone, not saying that the Holy Spirit isn't everywhere, but whenever you are not like, you know, we're praying, a praying family, where you go to church and doing the things we can, there has to be, something has to replace that peace. And that's the only thing I can think, that the devil found a vacant area and that's just where he's sitting.
Mm-hmm.
That's seriously the only thing that really comes to mind.
Yeah.
And it targeted a new Christian too, John.
It did.
So I found that very, very interesting.
Yeah, that is true.
Interesting correlation.
I apologize to the audience for listening to that story again, but we did put a little extra.
Yes,
emphasis.
There was some
there's
good
so many
emphasis.
things that place has me befuddled. I'm not kidding.
Oh yeah,
for us to bring it up this many times.
Yes,
you know, yeah, it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild up there. But what we wanted to talk about, when I was talking to Canaan,
right.
And it's been a while since Canaan's been on the podcast, since Mariah's been on the podcast. We've been a little bit in shambles. Because I was banking episodes before you were before you popped.
You are ever ready, baby. Like, congratulations.
Canaan is usually you lead a pretty busy life. So for you to try to record like 4 in 3 days, or I forget how many I did. That's pretty much that's pretty much non-existent for you. So that's the reason why Canaan hasn't been on for a while.
Right.
We just recorded a bunch to have in the can, and we did some good ones too. I think the one with David Graff, in which he attacked the second work of grace, and I'm sure made some
which
people
was
mad.
very interesting, and we need to revisit that because I have been getting so many messages from different people asking how we feel about it.
Or I got people asking for a part 2 with David Graff.
Yes, so that's definitely something we need to talk about.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Because like we all have different ideas of what it's about. So I would like to see like everybody's take on it because everybody has heard a different story about it. We all have like someone say like they had fire shooting from the other tops of their heads. I mean, there's so many different stories I've heard, and
there's a lot of.
I'd like to cover that. So I agree.
I'll just say
part 2.
I'm not. And I say this extremely carefully. I'll say it's blasphemous. Oh man, I can't. I can't say that one. Hold on. There was.
Woo!
I can't. I don't.
Just edit it out.
I don't say it like not to mock or anything like that.
Right.
But I don't really think it's a thing.
And that's you're already giving away your stance on.
Well,
on
everybody's listened to David Graff. I agreed with him. You know, David's flat out. Anyways.
I mean, he's already said it.
Yeah, he said it. I didn't say it. That's what I'm going to tell the Lord.
Oh no!
Listen, Lord, it was David Graff. He said it all.
No, but yeah.
No, I'm in agreement with you.
So we were planning on talking about.
I want to talk about the labor.
There's been a lot of stuff transpire lately, Miss.
The last 3 weeks.
I mean, you gave birth to Stewie, and he tried to kill you. Is what I'm saying.
Just tuna fish, nothing else.
Yes, our child tried to kill his mother and was almost successful.
Oh, okay. Well, we can start talking about it, I guess. But first,
is there a lot of hold on a minute, and I'm gonna have to edit this out. Is there's other baby news too, right? There's other
baby news, yes, that needs to be announced. I don't know. Are we gonna say that, or are they gonna say that?
They're the ones to ask.
We gonna announce it?
What?
Our baby.
What about him?
Are you gonna announce it on the podcast?
On the podcast?
Oh, okay.
You already put it on Facebook, and I was gonna let you guys do that.
It has been on Facebook. You didn't put it on there, right?
He didn't want me to, yeah, but I did.
Well, no, I mean, everybody that we wanted to know.
I told him. I've been telling him for months. July 4th is when I was going to do it. Literally, that was like the date since the beginning. Oh, you don't need to do it. I don't think you need to put it on social media. But baby Grayson will be here.
Oh, baby
January.
Grayson.
Oh,
heck
my
gosh.
gosh.
I like that. It's a good name.
That's good. I like it.
Thank you.
Yeah,
what's the middle name?
William.
William? After
my grandpa.
I was going to say, for some reason, I thought that was your grandpa. And I was like, in the back of my mind, like the one that died, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Well, it's either William or Wayne, because we really like
freaking Wayne.
Wayne.
Grayson Wayne sounds... Oh, Grayson Wayne sounds awesome, though.
It does sound good.
I know.
Sounds like the next front man for Lone Star. I like that.
Yeah. William's so sentimental, so I don't know.
I know.
Oh. Grayson Wayne has a good ring.
It does ring.
Like just like our name.
We could do... Well, why don't we just do Grayson William Wayne?
That's too much.
See?
Cannon, don't fall for that. Don't fall for that, Cannon. She fought with me.
Shut up, Bill.
Don't you fall for that, Cannon. Me and my wife, we had full out fist fights over. And I just cops, local police officers.
Officer Carpenter, Officer Kale,
yes.
Officer Gillis.
It's a joke,
Officer
boys.
Miller, I am fine. I am safe at home. We are good.
Yeah, Miss tried to convince me on the 4-name thing, and for some reason I didn't.
I know.
It never caught fire for me.
I know.
No, I don't like that. I think it's crazy, but
dude, you just told a pregnant woman she's crazy.
We'll see what happens.
You have balls of steel.
Just realize you are nowhere on that birth certificate, Cannon. That you are nowhere. I fought to try to get Phil on the birth certificate because I think it's so awesome to have mom and dad on there.
I was trying to dodge
and he's
child support payments later on.
No, he's like
why
child support.
You on it?
Dads are not. For some reason, dads are not.
They
on
don't
the
list
birth
us on
certificate.
that.
Yeah, seriously.
No,
Yeah.
he's totally on here.
They didn't even ask me.
Cannon's on here.
They didn't even ask me. They just did it.
It's a state thing.
Cannon's on here.
It might be a state thing. It might be a state thing. That's
I think they did
point.
put me on. They put me on. I'm pretty sure they said they put me on because they said for you to prove. Listen to this, guys. Okay, here's what the nurse told us.
Yeah.
If you're married to the guy,
right,
that is by default who is listed as the father.
So I could have been cheating with Canaan, and then it could have been someone else.
And it would automatically have defaulted to me being the dad. In fact, the nurse told us that she saw an instance where the guy
they were from Alaska. She was from Alaska. 9 years later, right?
They had split. I think the dude had went to Alaska.
She was from Alaska. She moved down here.
Okay, they were still technically married.
Right.
Never went through. She got pregnant, and they're like,
"We're sorry, we have to list the man you're married to as the father."
And she's like, "What?"
Yeah, and seriously. And they were split. Like they were 9 years separated. She'd already got a new boyfriend.
Well, the thing was, so they're like, "Well, what do we do?" And she said, "The only thing I know to do is here's this packet of papers. You have to mail it to him in Alaska and try to get him to sign it."
Yeah. And he could say no, which he could still be listed. But then again, why would you? Like, you'd have to pay all the like maternity stuff.
Oh yeah, any man in his right mind would be like,
you'd be like, no, that ain't my child.
I can't sign these fast enough.
Not ASAP.
Be like, I signed that last year.
So you know how like when you're together for so long, you're technically considered married, like married by law.
Yeah, common law. Yeah.
Why isn't there one for divorce?
Oh, that is a good point.
If you're separated for so many years, why isn't there
that's a good point.
Why isn't there one for divorce? I don't know. That doesn't make sense.
If you're separated for more than like 7 years.
Yeah, or whatever it is.
Yeah, good point. I don't know. That's really good.
If you stop paying your insurance, I mean, within 2 months, you go in default. You know.
Right.
Well, see,
I feel like a relationship should mean a little bit more.
If you stop having sex, I mean, you automatically go into default here.
I would consider that going into default. Heck yeah.
Like 9 years out.
Yeah. Dude's sitting there. He's completely turned blue. He's like, what am I supposed to do, Your Honor? Now, see, West Virginia, we don't have a common law, so you can get it for free for 30 years, and you ain't.
I think John and Lee have been together long enough that they could be considered.
They're gonna have to split up because Pennsylvania, I think, is common law state.
Yes, and they're all like ticked off about that because they're like, we don't want to be common law.
Well, they don't have to split up; they just have to live in separate housing for a while, right? Like a year.
Oh my gosh, that's
no
stupid.
Way.
That is totally.
Am I correct?
Stupid.
I don't know if I'm right on that. Do we have any lawyers listen? We have a lot of counselors that listen for some reason. No lawyers.
That's because we all need help.
They're like listening to us, like, yeah, well, these fellas need help. They need help.
You were getting ready to talk a little bit about the little bag of bones that just made his way into our house.
Okay.
Which, quick aside, there's sometimes I come in and I'm like, yes, I will be father of the year. And then there's other times I walk in and I'm like, whose kid is this and how long does he have to stay here?
I remember those same feelings.
Dude, sometimes it hits you. You just look over and you're like, why is he here? Why is that thing here?
Why is he not leaving?
What have I done?
What have I done?
When are his parents coming to take him away?
Why am I letting like a little 8-pound? Yeah. Why am I letting an 8-pound human fart on me?
Oh, Mom Bev's holding him. She's rocking him to sleep and stuff, so we can do the show.
He's the producer. He's running the show.
He's running the show. He's behind
I figured he'd be like laying behind you in like a bassinet or something.
Little devil in.
He's in the next dimension.
Mom Bev's enjoying the grandmotherhood.
Oh my Lord, is she ever?
Oh, she's loving it so much, and
I love that.
She's waited a long time.
Talk about what happened to you, Miss, because you're like one in a
4%. I think it was 4%. For some reason, I remember saying 4%.
Of women. Huh?
I am 4%.
You're 1 in 4.
I know, right? 1 in 4. So, I guess I can just start from the week. I guess it all started.
Start from the beginning. So you found out you were pregnant in October.
No.
That went back 2 months.
So one night, Phil and Missie had a good time.
We had a bottle of wine. No kidding.
One night, Exile was playing really loud on the stereo.
Want to touch you all over or want to kiss you all over?
Oh my!
I had to sneeze and cough at the same time, and it just caught me off guard. Oh Lord. Okay. So, June 24th, I went to a doctor's appointment and my blood pressure was like sky high. It was like 160 over 100. And the nurse there, she was like, she said, I don't like this. Because Tuesday, my blood pressure had been like 132 over 76. And I remember the number because I was like, dang, that's pretty good. Like, I'm doing great. I'm ready next week, go into labor, this, that, and another. So she calls the OBGYN, Dr. Sellers, fantastic guy from Washington, D.C., he was so great. I really enjoyed having him as my OBGYN.
Was that the skinny dude with the mustache?
Yeah. No, that's that's Dr. Goodness.
I don't know the dude's name, but he was hilarious.
Yeah, he's from, that was Charleston. That was
Charleston
Bowers.
boy.
Bowers.
Dr. Bowers.
That was Dr. Bowers. But anyways, Dr. Sellers was the African-American doctor from DC who came in, who did the circumcision on our boy. Which is another story. But anyways.
We don't have time to cover everything. I need all the.
We're going to do a part. We're going to do a part 2.
Yes.
Yes.
The traumatizing things that I saw.
The traumatizing things about labor.
Were you there for that?
Oh, I was there for the whole thing.
Well, no, for the circumcision.
No, I saw him right afterwards, and that poor little dude's pecker.
I know.
I almost regretted it.
Are you going to talk about it now?
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Talk about the black doctor. Get us back.
So anyways, he came in and he's like, so I guess we're having this baby today. He said, well, not technically today. He said, we're going to go ahead and induce you today. So they started the whole process. My blood pressure stayed high. Like, it was crazy. The only time it would go down, and it was 112/76. And I remember, like, in the middle of the night, and I'm like, my blood pressure is great. Like, what's the issue? No, whenever I was awake and I was moving, my heart rate was like 130 plus. Like, it would never come down.
So they took him a week and a half early.
They took him a week and a half early. And he was 8 pounds, 4 ounces, and 19 3/4 inches long, which I think he was throwing a fit whenever she measured him. So I think he's actually a little bit longer, because whenever we went back 2 days later, he'd already grown like 1.5 inches. I'm like, there's no way a baby grows that fast.
That's a big boy. That's a big boy.
Yeah, he is a big boy. But and he's long. He's got long legs, just like all the ultrasounds and everything. But anyways,
so what happened next?
So I went ahead and had him. It was just fine.
Stork brought him. He was fine.
Yeah, the stork
and then close to a week later.
Yeah, so my blood pressure was having a hard time getting normal. My heart rate never went below 120. And they were a little concerned about me, which, I mean, good for them. Like, I just really have to applaud them for doing their job. And I was the one that was saying, hey, just send me home. I know I'm sick. But I'll be better at home, because, you know, stress of being in the hospital. Who wants to be at a hospital?
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, just send me home. I'll feel great. No, it got worse. I started having shortness of breath about a week later. Woke up Sunday morning, just like gasping for air, leaning against the counter, and feels like, what's wrong? There's something wrong with you. And Mom gave me a fluid pill, which helped. Because I was fluid overloaded.
But while
and
Mom was giving you that, I was digging around trying to find your life insurance papers just to make sure everything was in good order.
Just in case.
Just in
You do get a lot of money if I die, though.
Yeah, come on. Here, miss, sign this check, please. Sign right here real quick before you pass out.
You do get a lot of money if I die, though. Just so we're clear on that. And I'm just putting it down right now. If I die very, very young, be suspicious.
How young?
Like 32. If I die at 32.
Cannon, I need you to call me after this.
You should be a little suspicious. But anyway.
Go ahead, Ms. I'm sorry.
So I ended up going back to the hospital Tuesday. I was gasping for air. Called up Phil. Phil, he's like all worried. He's like calling me back. I
had reason to be. Trust me.
I was worried myself. Like, I actually debated on going into the ER the day before, and that's when Phil knew. He was like, "There's something wrong." Missy never debates on going into the ER. She's always like, you know, no. But I was like, yeah, maybe. No, I'm okay. He says now he knows next time. Yeah, definitely send her to the ER, because
as soon as you can tell.
Bad.
I'll start cussing and yell at you till you get in the truck and we're going to the merchant. I mean,
You've learned your limit.
What happened to 5 minutes?
because here's the thing.
What happened to 5
Over the
minutes?
past 2 times that I've had to rush to the hospital, you know where I've been? Out Route 50 with a customer that's at least an hour away. And there's something about when I go to that location, either Anderson decides he's going to come bouncing out of you, or you decide that you're going to get about 6 inches from death's door. And I have to come ripping back all the way from. But when you called me and said that Anderson was about to be born, I was 3 hours from the hospital.
You were.
Oh my.
I was worried I was going to have this baby,
and then
you wouldn't be there.
Yeah. And then you called me, or I called you.
Yeah.
And you're like, you didn't say much anything because you couldn't breathe.
I couldn't even talk. I would try to talk and I couldn't even talk. I would burst into tears. Bad. It was terrible. And my mom's like, what's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? And I'm like, I can't even talk. And I'm just like bawling my eyes out. So I go to the ER, and the ER, they saw me like almost immediately. Like, Mom wheeled me in there and said, there's something wrong with her. Get her help. Well, they all thought I had a PE, which is a pulmonary embolism, blood clots in the lung. And it wasn't. In fact, it was fluid overload, which had caused my heart to not work. Like, it works about half of what it should. My ejection fraction is 30 to 35%, and it, from 50 to 75% is normal.
So tell people what it, because most people's not going to know the numbers that you're spitting out.
Right.
Like, when I explain that to
half.
people, there's some people listen, they'll be like, I don't do. But most of the time, especially seems to be men, when I tell them, 35% on the And I usually have to sit and think like the ejection fraction. And then they're like, what does that mean?
So the ejection fraction is like the contractibility of the heart. The heart's a muscle. So whenever it's able to push out all the blood and to be able to perfuse and like be able to get blood to your fingertips, to your toes, if it's not able to contract like it should, then you basically have heart failure because it's not able to work.
So what's the overall name? There's the term for what you picked up.
It is postpartum cardiomyopathy, which is, heart.
And how many cases a year in the U.S. do you have?
1,000 to 1,300 in a year for
Which
women.
makes it extremely rare.
It's very rare. And 18.
And it's very rare when the nurses come in, they're like, never seen this before.
Right. So the nurses were all concerned. They were fantastic. I can say Emily was great. Jeannie was great. Amanda was great. Like so many, my sister-in-law, thank you so much. Just in general, they were absolutely fantastic, making sure that I had everything that I needed to be taken care of. Cause they were legit scared for me. I could tell that. And Reagan, she was good too. She went to bat. She was on fire. Cause I told her, I said, I've been laying here. Oh guys, this is a long story. I laid there basically for like a day and a half, almost 2 days, and nothing happened. I should have been having a test to make sure my heart was okay. And my heart wasn't okay. And they were worried about my heart rate. So instead of giving me something, they let me lay there for a day and a half. The nurse came on the shift and was like, this girl is laying here. What are we doing? And Reagan, she came to bat. She just like ripped him a new one and said, if she does not get seen or something done,
but you was ready to walk out.
She's walking out of here. Yep. So we had a lot that was going on.
You already told everybody that. You're like, you got till noon and I'm leaving.
You have till noon or I'm walking out of here and I'll go to Ruby where I should have been in the first place. And they knew that too. The doctor even was like, yeah, I said this should have been done yesterday. Tests weren't done. Oh, guys, it was terrible.
It was a mess.
It was.
And I was terrified because I thought I'm going to have to try to take this kid to play dates as a single dad. And what the heck am I supposed to
do? all my single friends are all asking me if Phil's single yet. Or
it's like, I Phil out on a single date. Play date with
can you imagine?
Yeah, we trying to take this kid to a parent-teacher conference.
Phil, can you imagine Phil as a single dad? Oh dear, that's terrible.
Be a mess. Well, trust me, I was imagining it because I thought it might happen.
You left when I was in the ER to go get me some
because you told me to go.
Right, but like you said, you were upset though too because you really felt like I was basically going to be dead.
I didn't think that.
You were feeling that way,
but it was scary enough. I knew it was serious enough. I didn't think you were going to die like that. You 100%. Right. But I knew it was a scary enough situation that we were in some muddy waters and I wasn't a fan.
So the recovery rate of postpartum cardiomyopathy is
7%. 7%. So
7%.
I'm sorry.
You really want me dead, don't you? No, it's I think 18 to 56%. So I do have a 56% chance of being okay.
No, wait a minute. Survival rate is 98%.
No, recovery. I'm talking about recovery. I have not hit that recovery. You forget I'm a nurse. I hit all the statistics, man. So then the recovery rate is like 98%. Yes. Like you'll be okay. But to be back to normal, it's 56%. So I basically have a 50-50 chance that I'll either be on medicine or not on medicine the rest of my life. And it's all due to a baby, that 8-pound, 4-ounce baby in there.
I immediately called and had him arrested. And it's like there's a domestic.
He about committed murder.
There's a domestic violence situation.
His mother before he was born.
Yeah.
I mean, so now does that kind of put a damper on maybe having another one?
Yeah.
Or what's the?
It does. So there is a 30% chance that this could happen again.
You're loaded with numbers.
But baby, you are not married to a nurse for nothing.
Good point.
So I've kind of, because of this issue happening, it does put me in high risk. But let me say this though. The fact that I will have to go to high risk now makes me have to have like more appointments, like have better care. I hate to say it that way because I do love my midwife. She was absolutely fantastic. Hannah, love her. But
Hannah was great. Can we be clear though? This hospital is like a log cabin set up in the middle of the woods.
Oh dear.
Should I not have said that, Canaan? It's It's like, imagine the place George Washington was born, and that's where my son was born.
Oh, darn.
Dude, are you serious?
Oh, guys.
I mean, it was in Elkins, it was going to be a better hospital.
Oh, dude, Elkins. My son is more of a redneck than I am because he was born in Elkins. And
it's bad, guys. It's
just
bad.
be really clear. And I'm sure they're good people. Like you said, Miss.
Yes.
The nurses are great. However, when they're churning butter by hand and drawing water from a well, there's only so much they can do to deliver a baby.
I'm surprised your sheriff wasn't there delivering her.
Doctor came in a powdered wig and was like,
Did he talk in Old English?
he did. He was like, ye old baby is about to be thus delivereth. Yeah. No, it's a Hicktown hospital. And but here's the thing, and here's one of the things that they can't control. Well, they probably can somewhere, but I'll pretend that they can't. They don't. That from what I understand, their staffing level is so low because apparently everybody's been drafted into the Revolutionary War. And
I can't.
but seriously, they did good with what they had. They just didn't have much.
Yeah, see that.
Dude, just think of what they could do if they had an ultrasound machine.
Dude, think of what they could do if they had a roof on the joint.
They're still having to stick their hands up places to feel for things
It was,
instead of like
we pulled in there. It was 7 tenths.
7 tenths.
So now people actually can't ask Anderson if he was born in a barn because he was.
He actually was. Yes, he was.
When he leaves the door open,
Oh.
he can say yes.
Yes, I was.
Yes, I was.
My goodness, that's so true though. It's bad. Oh God, I can't even.
It was bad.
But,
I'm sorry,
okay, so
and I'll probably
now-
have to bleep out so that the little grubby little administrators down there
please
won't be hiring lawyers.
Please don't. Oh my gosh.
Well, I'll tell you. Now that I know that he was born in Elkins, I want to now go and see this hospital that you guys speak of.
It's great. You actually go to the city museum, and it's inside of there.
It's in the basement.
It's in the basement. Yes, one of the exhibits.
Let me just say, the looks on the outside are nothing compared to the inside. Let me just say that.
I ain't gonna lie. Okay,
So it looks better on the outside?
Yes.
Oh, it looks
Yes.
No.
I'm not lying.
Appearances
When I was
are-
inside, I'm not lying, missed at all. This is not. I'm not joking. This is true. It had a little bit of an Alcatraz vibe to it. I'm not kidding.
You kept telling me that. He
I'm
was
talking
telling
like
me, and
paint
I'm
peeling.
Jesus help
Yep.
us.
Paint peeling on the
Jesus
wall.
help us, have mercy.
We had piles
Well,
of.
if you do have another one, maybe you'll find a different hospital.
Well, I think what's going to happen is they're not going to let me have my next baby if we have a next baby. I would like to. I have to go for like 6 months, make sure my heart's healing okay. I'm on a lot of medications. I hate it. I hate it so much. But I will say I've lost a lot of weight. I actually am able to fit into clothes I didn't think I was going to be able to fit in. So
Way to go.
I've lost a lot of weight. And then like trying to breastfeed, so I'm like pumping and stuff. That's making a difference too. So not only is that and the fluid weight that I'm losing, it's because I didn't remember how I sent you that picture of me swelling up. Yeah, you can hear him crying.
Yeah, he's still a little bit fit.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah, Mom
I
does
think he
change his
needs me.
diaper.
Yeah. We need to meet this.
I think he needs me.
Oh,
Feel free to just come up here.
I know. We
He's
need to
pretty
get
cool. I've been
together
fighting with him
again.
all evening.
He's had some
We've
gas.
been playing. Don't say anything bad about what. Yeah. Let me just say this: play and drop the baby is a wonderful game.
Let me tell you, if a CPS comes on my door, it's because my husband has played the whole. You know how the baby like jumps and like grabs like this because he's scared.
Yes.
No, my husband thinks it's so cool to drop him, like
He
not
likes
literally
it.
drop him, but like he does
Not
the
like
whole
drop him.
like the whole test that they do for like the drops.
I
like,
used to do that with Jack.
I know.
Okay,
I
so
know
I'm not
you
the only
did.
one.
I know you did.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
But not this young Phil.
Phil does the same.
This man will be
thing.
strong. He's a paratrooper baby. We showed it to Para Baby.
He sits there and
loves
looks
it.
at me.
He's
You're going
tough
to
as
change
heck.
it to shake it, baby, in a minute.
Yeah. So, like, I tell him all the time, I said, if our child becomes a murderer or something, it's his fault.
It's all his fault.
It's his fault for terrorizing and bullying his only child that we may never have any more children. Just so we're clear on this.
You can have mine for a while.
Hey, at least you're getting to have fun with him. Jack, when he was like, like there's very limited on what you can do with kids,
Yeah, it's been quite the low experience with this little dude. I'll tell you that much.
Defend yourself while I go get your son his bath towel so he can have a nice warm bath.
He's throwing a bit of a fit in there. Well, one thing I did like was the doctor, the old doc from Charleston, down in the sticks. He comes in there and he's real quiet, like he just helped deliver. Because the doctor, he'd pretty much come in there and he'd be like, He'd stick his head in the door because they had midwives and stuff. And he's like, yep, you got a ways to go. And he'd just disappear for like 5 hours.
He really doesn't have to do anything.
Yeah.
Like, he just has to be present on the floor.
Yeah. So then he came in when it was, when it was heating up and everything, and he helped deliver him. And then he told me, he's like, got a heck of a sack on him, Dad. He's like,
oh my gosh. Oh, good Lord.
He's like, got a heck of a sack on him.
Yeah, like, just don't say that. I've been doing a lot of investigative work on child molestation lately, so please don't say that to me.
Doc, do we need to have a discussion? Do you need to be on our podcast?
Yeah. Why was you looking at that?
But now, did you end up peeking your head down below there and see what was going on?
I looked maybe twice. Now, granted,
more than I did.
I knew better than to stand down there and gawk.
Yeah, there's no gawking.
I wasn't.
You better gawk.
Believe it or not, I wasn't woozy, nothing like that. But I thought, let's not play silly games and tempt the the woozy gods.
That's the creator.
Exactly, dude.
So I took a glance or two, especially when he was being born. I took a glance. I was like, that is the last glance I will take because that is freaking weird.
That is it. Draw the line.
It's true.
Actually, this time, never mind. That's TMI for right now.
That's the reason. The reason I was going with how many people we had in the room is there were several people. Not only doctors and stuff, but I think we had Aunt Liz, your mom.
Oh,
Megan,
there were 11.
Megan.
Because there were
myself.
Mm-hmm. And then there were 7 hospital people.
Yeah.
And this was while during delivery?
Yeah, this was during delivery.
Oh,
because there were students in there. We had students.
I had
lots of people yelling, Caden, you gotta take a look. Look at this. This is beautiful. I'm like, oh, okay. Oh, nope. I'm not doing that again.
I was very lucky. We had a nice, she was a very nice lady, plump, redheaded midwife, and she understood exactly what I was going through. And so she would mention to me, she'd be like, first of all, there is really no place for a man in there, and they make you feel that way as well. You just gotta stay. They all just cast glances at you like, look what you did. But but anyways, no, this lady was great. And she told me, she's like, you're starting to be able to see some things if you want to. And if you want to. At that point, I was feeling froggy. I was like, yeah, why the heck not? But I think if somebody had been there, putting some pressure, I'd have probably started throwing hands, man. I was nervous as a cat on a tin roof. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, dude. No, I was too, man. And they actually woke me up because I had finally passed out because Mariah had kind of calmed down and was had to run some meds, so she was starting to calm down and stuff. So I was like, I'm gonna pass out. So I did. And then they woke me up at 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. So I'm literally standing there dazed,
staggering.
Oh yeah.
Over to the bed.
Over the bed, you're doing good, honey. And I'm patting her and stuff, and I'm about to fall over asleep. And so then they're like, you gotta take a look at this. So I kind of staggered down to the end of the bed.
I will say this. One of the things I did see, I saw enough to realize that the man who invented the epidural deserves $7 billion. I never saw anything like that in my life.
Yes.
Miss was just about, to give up the ghost. And we weren't even that far into it. And I'm like, this is getting bad. And then she calls for the epidural boy, and he comes galloping in there. Dude, that freaking thing, like I said, whoever invented it, I wish I had a case to take home with me. That's how potent it was. Freaking wonderful little serum they had there.
Dude.
It made me loopy.
It did. Well, dude, have you seen the needle?
It gave me the giggles.
I didn't see the needle. They had me stand in front of her to keep her from pitching forward.
They're about this long.
Dude, they're huge.
I
remember they pulled that. What's that?
I actually have the sheath that went over the needle. I stole it for the baby book.
Well, keep in mind too, and at the hospital we was at, they had you like bent over the front of a Ford pickup truck.
You were terrible. No. It was just like
Bill had to drive his truck around the side.
Yes.
Dude,
Yeah.
Well, dude, when I seen that, I got woozy seeing that because I'm like, that's going in her, and they're like, yeah. I'm like,
I didn't even feel that.
Yeah. See,
That
they
is
didn't
one
let
thing
me
I
see
didn't even
it.
feel.
They kept
And
all
then
that. They pulled some sleight of hand.
That's pretty cool. Well, then they also said something about like, didn't you have to like sign a consent form or whatever that like it could be, because of like paralyzing and stuff. And I'm
you
like,
could be paralyzed because of that. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Why do you think I don't want to do it?
Oh man.
Oh, girl. You had it the first time, right?
Yeah. Only because
Okay. See,
they pretty much tricked me into it.
yes, I remember you said that. One reason why I took it is because I was on so much Pitocin. Like I was almost to 20 milligrams of Pitocin, which helped me have contractions. And those type of contractions are totally different than actual like natural contractions. My body was not ready, but they were kind of like forcing me like, hey, we got to go because your blood pressure
said too. What was that? What was that? The Romanian woman, Mina. She said that she had because she'd asked
children.
She asked you about the
epidural,
and you and at that point you were kind of like, I think you were wanting to maybe try to tough it out.
I wanted to be Wonder Woman. I wanted to be like that awesome, like never did it, right? You know, this is great.
And Mina told her, she's like, I've had 9 children. She's like, let me just say,
some without an epidural.
Yeah, she said some with, some without. She said, let me just say, epidurals are wonderful.
Yeah, and she's had 9 children. So that's why I was kind of like, okay, like I'm seriously like, because I had other friends too that I had to have Pitocin, and I was like, okay, like I'm listening to what they had to say, and then I'm listening to how my body was feeling. You guys, when my water broke, it was the end of the world. I was seeing stars. I thought for sure Jesus was coming for me. It was bad. It was bad. Because I was like, I'm done. I am done. I think I'm probably going to die. I cannot wait for this guy to get here. When he came in with that epidural, I was like, I guess I need you sooner than what I thought I did.
You know, I will say that my hat is off to the ladies.
100%.
It gives you a whole new respect for them. That's for sure.
Yeah, after seeing that. Now, I will say I did sweat a bit, so I went through a lot.
Right.
But
You were under so much stress.
Dude, Phil sends me some videos every now and then. I'll show him to Jack and stuff. And man, he's a cute little guy, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm. He is. He really is sweet. Sometimes I think he looks like Phil, and then other times I'm like, nope, straight up. That look.
I
the
do
looks
see
and the faces.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! I think he's getting my.
I
faces.
do see like my baby.
I can't decide who he looks like.
I can't either.
Give it a couple weeks. Wait till he's like 6 or 7 weeks, then you'll really be able to tell.
Yeah.
I see like the my baby pictures in him at times, but then when he gives me the scornful looks, it is you 100%. In fact, I told him the other day. I said I was even talking to him. I was giving him a very stern talking to,
right.
And I said I've had to endure those looks 12 years.
12 years, baby.
And I will not do it for another 18.
Never again. Oh my goodness.